Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. We have a story here from Argentina. And yes, I know, not my usual fare. However, it is pertinent and relevant. It looks like the trickle may turn into a torrent. For you see, a few days now since President Trump pulled the United States out of the WHO, President Javier Milei has ordered his foreign minister, Gerardo Vertein, to withdraw Argentina from the WHO as well. And this is down to what they're calling deep differences on how the WHO want to implement things and how Argentina wants to implement it as a sovereign nation. Basically, there's a power overreach by the WHO that wants to take control of countries when there is a world pandemic. And sovereign nations are saying, on your bike, matey. Or at least sovereign nations with leaders with balls who care about their countries are doing that. You notice that Starmer hasn't pulled us out of the WHO yet. Of course not. He'd be only too happy to hand control over to foreigners. Anything to remove power out of the hands of the British people. But the Milei administration's announcement was made in lockstep with the US because they don't want to give up their power. Now, it turns out that Milei has, for some time now, been in contact with Trump. They are on apparently very friendly terms. We want to make sure they're not too friendly and Trump starts thinking about handing our Falklands Islands back over to Argentina. That truly would be an issue, although I'm pretty sure, again, that Starmer would jump at that chance as soon as he could. But isn't it funny? It's just funny that these two leaders both want that, and yet so many others aren't taking the opportunity. Well, I think if there's a third and then a fourth and so forth, the whole of the WHO will fall apart, and it'll just be another third world organisation. Although who's going to pay for it? Nobody knows. The US pay about a third of all the money that goes into the WHO. They're now snookered. They don't know how they're going to raise that funding. After all, it's not as though it's filled with rich countries anymore, is it? But there we go. That's what happens when you put in overreach. That's what happens when unelected arseholes at the WHO think they should control other people's countries, that they haven't been elected into office for. It's going to come back and bite them. Third worlders, you see, because the WHO, another country run by a third worlder. Unfortunately, none of these big international organisations, with the exception of NATO, are ever run by people who aren't third worlders, put it that way. Anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks very much. Goodbye.